Barcelona in that first leg played well. This man, he followed that up with 2 goals in his last game.
Antoine Griezmann with a smile on his face. More purpose as Messi starts the run. It is La Copa, and it is the second leg of their semi-final tie. Another one tomorrow. Alaves will be in action against Celta Vigo, and the winners of these 2 ties will meet in the Copa del Rey final. Off to the near side, Felipe Luis. Juanfran back out on the right flank. He had been playing in the midfield with Versailles getting a run, but Juanfran, Savic, Godin, and Felipe Luis in front of Moya. Ball inside behind Torres. Deflected to the golden boy. Deflects off Umtiti and then cleared away before Griezmann can get the shot. Here's Saúl, kissed wide by Koke. Juanfran tries to settle.
Just as we anticipated, the Colchoneros coming out and smelling blood in the water right away. Taking the game to Barcelona early. This was snap, crackle, pop. You'll see how far away this one is from Griezmann's left foot. Andre Gomes just gets his size 10 boot there, and he needed every millimetre of it. That was good defence in the end there by the Portuguese man. But part of this wonderful subplot, Phil, is this Atletico Madrid coming out with a high attacking line, and that's going to open the door for Luis Suarez and Messi.
Well, again, they know they need goals. They need to at least get 2 and hope they can hold Barcelona to no more than 1. And that would force added time. Gaetan offside. Diego Simeone played it a little more cautious in the first leg, at least for the opening hour. And then it was full battleships on display for the final half hour.
Cillessen hasn't really dropped many clangers at all. He's always been even more confident than ter Stegen a lot of times with his feet and his ability. And again, look at this wonderful coolness, applause rather than gasps from this crowd. There's been a few of them with ter Stegen, but that's risk and rewards, the way Barcelona will always play. And lovely, slick, direct passing. But Cillessen, I think, Phil, just with his goal line saves as well, has been, well, knocking at the door for a starting position, to be fair.
The more traditional of the 2 keepers?
I think so. And he's still got that wonderful soft touch and vision with both of his feet. A little bit more right-footed, of course. Andre Gomes slotting into that back line as well.
Cillessen outside of his area, passes off to Samuel Umtiti. French-born centre back getting the call here today.
See, this Andre Gomes is dropping back in the old way Busquets used to, into that middle of that back line here and dictating his passes from that position.
Rakitic in the Iniesta role, along with Denis Suarez. Titi under pressure. Gives it away. Kept in play far side by Carrasco. Griezmann barreled over by Gomes, who looks innocently at the referee.
Beautiful, quick thinking here from the French international. Take a look at this touch as he just touches it by Andre Gomes. There's not an awful lot in there. He could have imagined the referee allowing play to continue, but the arms come into the chest of Griezmann from Andre and gets called for it. Dangerous position. This team made its name as much as any team that's ever done from set-piece masterpieces. It's faded a little bit, but they can still produce real danger.
On the second look, inside, just over Torres, just shy of Godin, and it was Piqué who drew the foul.
Yep, he's falling back and he still locks his focus on it, and the inspiration for Barcelona is getting pulled by Godin and still is able to get his defensive header away. There's that step up that was called. It wasn't this one. I think it was the first one. The second one was a foot or so offside as well. Good touch. Nicely.
Inside, Suarez deflected. Or was it clean? He's saying there was a touch.
Yeah, they get a corner for it, I'm sure. Yep. Wonderful from Arda. Turkish delight here. Splits the difference in a lovely little caress from the number 9, Suarezcito. Beautiful. Good attack and good defending.
No Neymar today, suspended for this match, so it will be Rakitic taking the restart.
Messi sitting on a yellow card, isn't he, Phil? He's got to keep his nose clean.
Titi and Alba, the others for Barcelona. Savic out there for Atleti. Ball inside the 6, cleared by Torres. Past Turan.
Lovely touch.
Held on to.
Oh,
Gaetan wants it back. It's Koke wide.
Beautiful.
Into the area.
Magic.
Driving back. Carrasco, and his shot parried by Cillessen. Gomes quickly out the other way, and it's Messi with a full head of steam.
Yeah, this is it. Open football here today, people.
Messi from that Neymar spot.
Now,
and dispossessed. Again, Saúl dropping back.
A brilliant attack that from Atletico. They knew they had 3 against 2, and the right option was picked. To the left, Carrasco drives in. This is a lovely ball, touched off, and then the full responsibility comes onto his shoulders. That cut back there, magnificent. A cannonball launched. He sees it come. Aye! I see it go. Unlucky. Boss. Wonderful play.
Will it in.
Yeah. Again, perfect positioning from that man. Cillessen, perfectly positioned and tremendous, quick with his reflexes, throws his big arms up, gets it out of dodge. Atletico, certainly the brighter attacking team.
Into the center, flicked on Gaetan, but misses Torres, and all the way back to the Dutchman. Sergio Roberto on that back line at right back. Alba on the left side with Piqué and Umtiti in between. It is Gomes flanked by Suarez and Rakitic. And then Suarez, Luis flanked by Messi and Turan. Piqué back to Cillessen. Barcelona with that road goal advantage. Or touch that time. Cillessen scrambles back. Torres harassed by Denis Suarez. Carrasco trying to turn the corner and throwing his body in front. Jordi Alba.
Good defending, gets himself across in front of the red shirt. Here's that wonderful sizzler, Phil. Look at Cillessen's place. He sees where his near post is. He covers that. As he drives to the left, he reads him beautifully. And that is really top-class keeping.
There were some questions as to how he would adjust. I mean, not that Ajax is a small club. In fact, the roots of Barcelona go back to that Dutch side, but it is asking a lot to be playing from the Eredivisie and then to be playing for arguably the world's best.
Wonderful from Rakitic there. Quick, slick touches. You see how many of these players nowadays adjust their positions. I'll bet you a bottom dollar that Cillessen was a midfield player in his day when he was a kid at Ajax. Gotta be.
Into the center, well covered Saúl, flicked on into the middle, but away from Griezmann. And Titi heads it away, and Rakitic back to Piqué.
The two Uruguayans battling like true charruas.
Okay, under pressure, slots it across. Savic stepping up.
Good ball.
Onto the flank for Felipe Luis. Might have had the touch down the line. Instead looks to the middle. Piqué saw it first. Messi back on the right side. Tries to intercept, but right back to Atletico.
Impressive early play, isn't it, from the red and white shirts. Wonderful width here from the Brazilian. A sense of real urgency and pointedness about Atletico. They really are sharp on the ball.
10 minutes in. Gomes trying to win it, but Felipe Luis harasses well enough. The fact that Atleti needs a couple of goals, you can sense the fans getting a bit frustrated. A danger of Barcelona maybe sitting back too much?
Well, I don't know if they're sitting back intentionally, Phil. He's certainly strewn the lineup out knowing that this red and white team's going to be coming at him. As I said, arguably with three holding midfield players that regularly play in a more defensive position, not out-and-out defenders, but certainly it's a more conservative lineup. So knowing that Koke's men are going to come at them like Dracula looking for a plate of liver.
Line just outside the 18. Koke flipping it in. Diving header. Sillison knocks it away, but the flag had come up. Might have been Savage on the first touch.
Well, let's hope the linesman gets it right either way, because this would have been denying a wonderful goal. Beautiful ball from Koke. Let's take a look.
Godin,
it's Godin, it's the one that's the offside, and I don't think that one was offside at all. It's Savage that comes in and looking for gold. That was a very questionable call.
Made a bit moot by the fact Sillison with the stop, but it does look like the linesman on the far side, Jose Fernandez, got that one wrong.
Yeah, it was certainly Godin that was leaning over that line, and he was no part of the play there. Danger signs, warning signs, Will Robinson.
Dean all the way back to Moya. Spanish youth international, not as though Atletico resorting to chopped liver in the absence of Oblak.
Moya looking at this as this to say, what's this? Look out.
Policeman checking the rear view mirror.
It's the first time Moya's even had a glimpse of the ball.
Referee with the nice trap. It wasn't intentional. Sergio Roberto tries to go through. He's part of the field.
He's part of the field. He needs to get out of the passing lane. Part of the field. If he knew the game, he'd get out of the passing lane. Retreat, referee.
Griezmann probably wouldn't mind planting him at the moment. Out for the Barcelona throw. Skips away. Suarez maybe a little too tricky. Koke got it, then Suarez trying to get it back, knocked to the ground. Saúl Ñíguez maybe a little too tough.
Well, part and parcel of this game. They are really knitting their team together impressively. Look at this. It's a lovely flick on from Griezmann.
That angle, maybe, just maybe.
Yep.
Good camera work, good tape work, and apologies to Jose Fernandez.
And the ball was played initially. That was the one. It was the question mark.
Sergio Roberto.
Ooh, nice.
Risky, but just behind Torres.
But it's hard taking that word out of your vocabulary when you're talking about Barcelona, Phil. That's the way they always play it. It's got to be a similar word to risky, but adventurous maybe. Look at this. This is a component of this game here today, is dropping back. Andre Gomes, who looks extremely comfortable when the game's all in front of him, picks out passes like that. But when he's in that central engine room with players left and right and front and back of him, not so comfortable.
Suarez,
it's a great ball.
Messi and Alba. Sergio Roberto there to sweep things clear. Kind of interesting. Normally when it's Neymar and Suarez, Messi slots into that middle.
Oh, great
without
ball.
Neymar, he's going left and
Sillison,
right.
And asks the question of Andre Gomes, are you confident and can you control this? And Andre says today, yes. There's been some better touches by Andre Gomes here today.
Rakitic harassing. And does well enough. Sergio Roberto with the touch. Rakitic to Suarez. His pass off. Messi trying to steal it back from Savic, though. Only whistle from the crowd. Kazmirski. Ñíguez.
Griezmann again. Nice feed. He's got options. Big Torres in the middle. Overhit.
And out for the throw, and Atleti can put some pressure on here, though, to try and
cross
win it back.
by Gaetan. He's got a lovely target arriving late in El Nino Torres. into that near post. There's another great ball from Cillessen. And that's the type of crisp passing and responsibility that leads to the Barcelona advancement. When it's on and it's played quickly, they really do shift the lanes.
ENSports.com, of course, where you can find out all the information on La Copa. The Twitter handles there as well. And plenty more action going on. Don't forget PSG against Lille, Montpellier, Monaco, and Roma, Fiorentina. Check out beIN Sports Connect. Matan trying to drag Piqué out. Rakitic steps in, forces the touch, and Piqué steals it away. Player down inside the box, one back by Koke, rifles the shot, and a top-hand save from Cillessen.
This is another example of Barcelona in those tight passing areas, not getting the job done, and he capitalizes on it. It's Denis Suarez, I believe, that gives it away. Take a look at this one. As he turns, the ball's played in, and this is the end result. Easy pickings for Cillessen, but it was that indecision by Suarez, who had Andre Gomes a few yards away from it, and then gets pocket-picked.
Saw Torres' knee buckle as his cleats seemed to grab, but he is up on his feet now.
He's fine.
Second corner of the match, headed down but straight to Cillessen. Godin.
Again, his men showing with big neon signs, we're here and we're coming at you. A wonderful header this, and just kind of be directed to his right, because it looks like Rakitic was blocking that avenue for him, so he's got to go to his left. And easy pickings in the end again for Cillessen, who's certainly having his hands warmed, isn't he? Unlike
back on the other end,
his counterpart at the other end. Moya, look out.
And a chance for Griezmann. Alba with the afterburners on. Pops up. Griezmann tries to drag it to the goal line. Good work by Alba. And then deflected away.
Jordi Alba covers the fire that started by Andre Gomes with an absolute horrific giveaway. Was it the Portuguese man or was it Umtiti? I think it was Andre. He sets away the Griezmann. And Barcelona's crowd absolutely aghast at that wonderful setup by Andre Gomes.
Flying up and over, Savic. Suarez down in a heap, whistles from the crowd.
Atletico Bossa Nova in Barcelona here at Camp Nou. All one-way traffic, dominating Los Colchoneros.
Dean retreats. Koke. No real rush for Atleti. 90 minutes and maybe more.
No real rush, Phil. They've been rattling the cage of Barcelona for 18.09 seconds. The entire game is going against him here. He's been overrun in midfield. Messi's been rusty with his touch. Suarez, you couldn't find him with a searchlight right now.
Messi eludes the pressure of Saul, dances around Juanfran. Back heel from Turan, back to Messi. Still a Messi, and then finally Juanfran the second time around.
Well, if this is the recipe for Barcelona, there's a glimpse of how it does work. Get it up to those front three, but it's been very infrequent that they've been able to find Turan, Messi or Suarez. You just see there, maybe for the second time in 18 minutes, that when that try and get the ball, they can cause real worries for Atleti, but nothing at the end of it. Good covering. Yeah, take a look at this one. It's Andre Gomes that plays it right into Griezmann. Put this one away, Frenchie. And he is so close to getting around, but that's good cover in the end by Jordi Alba. Saves the bacon.
Chance for Felipe Luis. Has a go and leaning the other way, Cillessen, but it never went straight enough.
Wonderful pull of the trigger here. Andre Gomes again. Dishes it away right into the danger area. Gomes puts it on an altar for Felipe Luis, who razzles but doesn't see the inside of Sillesen's post. Yeah.
5 shots to 1. But Atleti still to get on the board. 70 minutes left. Messi across to Turan. Denis Suarez upfield. Titi and Piqué, the only 2 back. Even Sergio Roberto and Alba in their traditional positions.
Oh, well read. Easy.
Sergio Roberto looking for a foul on this near side, but Godin sees his effort knocked aside.
Wonderful anticipation from one Uruguayan to another. He's seen him turn and feast on chances like that. That's a wonderful anticipation from Big Godin.
Thrown in, chested down. Just in time, Saul. Juanfran at wing back rather than on the wing.
2 wonderful technicians in that technical area as well, Phil.
Carrasco back to Juanfran.
Played their cards in the lineup start of this game, and it's proven to be Simeone that looks as if he's got the wind in his sails. Now, that's not going to be enough. So if Barcelona can keep these demons out, it'll certainly tilt its way back to Lucho Enrique. An intriguing game ahead of us. It started out beautifully, particularly for Los Indios.
Okay. Looking into the center again for Saul. This time deflected. It was Godin giving a go, and back to Sillesen.
See much wrong with his team, Phil? But I don't. This red and white side looking like pack of piranhas everywhere. Look at this.
Pressured and forcing the turnover from Sergio Roberto. Torres.
Pushing them about, man.
Saul. Koke looking for a run.
Good play. Nice.
Carrasco upended. Shoulder to shoulder, says the ref. More pressure wins it back. Koke looking to resurrect Atletico Madrid. Carrasco's shot deflected back, and Saul recovers. Out wide, but not kept in. Pops up on Carrasco, and a throw in for Barca, a chance to catch their breath.
Well, when these lineups came out, we said that this midfield is going to be the battleground where it's going to be won. There's only one winner so far. His team needs a response. His assistant knows it. They're getting bullied. Chasing the game, Phil, it's so uncharacteristic of this Barcelona side.
Again, the question, by design or being forced back. Offside against Felipe Luis.
Really? What do you think? Come on now. You think they're conceding possession? They don't know how to. It's not the Barcelona way. Look at this.
And Real Madrid, the type that can tend to absorb pressure and strike on the counter. There is no Neymar as well, which does limit Barcelona once they get possession.
Well said, Phil.
Alex Vidal in the background, playing well in recent games, but starting this match on the bench.
Crowd sensing they're needed as the cant rings around. It's always a sign when Barcelona are starting to hit a pocket of poor form. This crowd really urges them on with that familiar chant.
Not free from Turan. It will be Barca ball, though. Just 2 defeats in the last 22 meetings against Atletico. That year where Atleti won the championship, they did so mainly with draws against Barca. That would not be good enough. In fact, Ray, of the 83 times Atleti has played at the Camp Nou, only 12 of those results in history would be good enough for Atleti to advance to the final today.
Wonderful statistic, Phil. History means nada, nada, no pasa nada in this type of situation. But it's a great stat. give you that.
Let's see if it sticks. Diego Simeone probably agrees with you. Cillessen, no pressure. Now token step up by Torres as more time sticks off the clock.
A wonderful selection from Cillessen, wasn't it? Holding, waiting for Suarez to open up the space, and he finds it beautifully.
Titi stepped on his compatriot Griezmann a bit. Unintentional, says the ref. And Ray, with that Cillessen hold, it does seem to give an idea of the mindset Luis Enrique has set this team out. They know the clock is on their side.
It's a fair point. And with the lethal forwards that they have, as the game does tick by, Suarez and Messi in particular, Arda, they've got the players that will jump out of the closet and bite your head off. But you've been on a starvation diet for 25 minutes, Phil. If this Atletico team draws blood first, this crowd, who's already sensing a nervous performance, and it's been reflected in this crowd, if Atletico strike first, as you Americans say, Katie, bar the door.
Nerves are jangling a bit at the Camp Nou. Koke. Set plays, by the way, such a strong point a couple of years ago. 35 set play goals for Atletico Madrid. This year, though, Ray, only 6.
Sure, and there's been that lot of variation. They used to really mix it up on the set pieces, didn't they?
Well, a wrinkle here, finding Godin out wide. In fact, Barcelona with twice as many set-piece goals as Atletico this season.
Certainly the defenders as well of the teams that come up against Atletico Madrid far more aware now. See? There's the other side of it. Moya, wonderful goalkeeper with his feet turned to jellyfish.
Hard hit. Savic goes flying. Suarez pops right back to his feet.
Finally, this crowd get roused, and it took a bad pass from Miguel Angel in between the sticks to get
serious.
This crowd out of their seats.
Simeone stripping off the overcoat. Sergio Roberto back to Piqué.
27 minutes in, and it's actually Barcelona tight possession in the opponent's half. See how long it lasts. See what advancements they make.
Gonge. Titi. Luis Suarez. Alba from an angle spots the run. Dennis Suarez only cleared as far as Messi in the box, and a laser beam parried by Moya.
Dennis Suarez is unfortunate here. It's a brilliant little run, and it just gets away from him. He directs it into Godin, but he was able to step a half of a foot into that pass. He would have been in wonderful control of the ball.
Carlos Sanchez trying to calm Diego Simeone down. Good luck.
One shot from Messi, the first one in 28 minutes for Barca on target. 3 for Atleti. Nice ball.
Caresses.
Tight confines, so no option for Lionel.
Gaetan stealing it away from his countryman. Backing in on Piqué. Flailing out Torres, and it looks like he might have taken a hit to the mouth. This was Gil trying to keep things calm.
A difficult one, because I thought Torres was backing into Piqué ahead of controlling the ball, and arguably that could be called the other way, because certainly Torres, smart man as a forward, knows that, well, suspects that the ref will give him the benefit of the doubt, but he was jumping into the chest of Piqué when he didn't have control of the ball. Argument point is, was the ball in his playing area? The ref thought so.
Okay, again, he's had his chances. Near post, down in the box, but incidental, says the ref. He's not going to get the call this time. Messi giving chase. Moya.
Crowd trying to put him under pressure there.
Bounces up. Suarez had done a good job building a wall. Reaching out, touching Turan, who is down. Ball pinging around.
Nicholas Gaitan that comes in and clips him. They're both going for a ball. I think it's Nico Gaitan that just catches Arda. Gambling a little bit, Sergi, there with that arm around.
Didn't appear as though there was contact.
No.
Maybe he pulled something. Turan back up. Temperature in the mid-50s, mostly clear skies. Humidity up there, but not expecting any rain, which is actually rather abnormal for Spain this week. Storms laying claim to a couple of games.
Rain earlier, but it's certainly eased off. That's carrying out.
Doesn't hold. In fact, there was some question what would happen following the dominoes. The Celta Vigo game against Real Madrid in league this past weekend was postponed. Cillessen under pressure again. That meant
release. Look at that ball fed out to Jordi Alba from Cillessen, who was under severe pressure, as you said.
And now a foul. Back comes Alba, and he lands awkwardly. Because Celta did not play this weekend, Alaves wanted their match tomorrow pushed back in the other Copa del Rey semifinal.
Good run.
And they have an argument.
Well played.
La Liga decided no. And if that had been pushed back, what about this match? Nice.
Well played.
And Gomes. And now what?
Good ball.
Lays it square, far side wide. Turan with Sanchez, with Suarez inside. Whistles it across to Sergio Roberto. Rakitic shows. Maybe, just maybe, starting to see Andre Gomes. The 30 million euro Andre Gomes.
A couple of good flashes there.
Dummied through. Turan, but Godin beats him to the ball. Titi. Back to the former Benfica boy. A little slip from Roberto as he bounces into Gaitan.
This is his best moment of the game so far. Wonderful skill from the Portuguese man, and then the spank out to the left as well was a lovely ball. Time and time again, referee's saying.
Again, out on his heels, Griezmann, dummied through far side. Alba in for Turan. Suarez thought about it, tries to sneak it through for Messi, and touched through for a corner kick.
I know he can give him the ball in a telephone box and he'll still be able to bamboozle his way out, but the ball just cut off before it was presented to Lionel in a dangerous position. I'm missing the Brazilian all right, but Arda's been shown up nicely in flashes on that left side.
This will swing in. Suarez in the center of the six, well guarded though. Goes near post, cleared by Saul. On the ground, a touch for Gaitan, and a
to get that one
touch.
there, Sergio Roberto. That was very, very dangerous. That's Carrasco that was hungry like the wolf.
Right in front of Simeone. Sergio Roberto drops it back. 35th minute. A little slow on the pass, but Torres couldn't steal it away. Alba under pressure. And again comes back, but this time ruled off the hands. Atleti starts it quickly.
To the left.
Griezmann.
Options to the right in numbers.
Luis drives it into Sergio Roberto and out for the throw. Luis in for Koke. Again, the referee getting in the way. This is a third time already in this opening half. Back with the Brazilian left. Tries to touch it back, but Carrasco taken root. Nice from Rakitic. Turan couldn't bring it down, so uses his head in more ways than one. Suarez, but it slips away. Right back to Atleti. Mentioned Atleti could be a bit patient. They do need to get that first before they get a second, but as we approach the half, things will get even more tense. Carrasco stomping in, said the referee. Our first caution of the match. No Neymar for Barcelona. No Gabi for Atleti. And it is a bit of a different look with Saul and Koke, but Barcelona yet to really take advantage. Much more attack-oriented from the visitors. Suarez pops it up. Alba trying to knock it back for Turan, but no. Off one front. And for Gomes.
They've been certainly marginally better in the last 10 minutes or so, Barcelona, and that it's not coincidental that Andre Gomes is starting to be a little bit more influential in that midfield area. Certain uptick, isn't it, from Barca, at least in the first 10, after this last 10 minutes. Well played.
Smart.
Good ball.
Suarez in for Messi. 3 in front.
Now,
trips himself, says the referee.
well, he's in front of 3 players. He tries to kiss it past the first one, but the second defender comes across. And then, again, Simeone's men doing the homework. There was 3 players around Lionel. No way through, even for him there.
Suarez back from Turan. Over to Messi. His compatriot Gaetan steps in front. Mentioned the Argentine coach Edgardo Bausa here. He was at that Juventus Inter Milan game in Italy just a few days ago.
Yep, seeing Dybala shine for Juve.
Maybe Icardi for Inter.
Yep. A little quieter, Icardi. Did well, though. Dybala was the one that really took the eye again.
Sergio Roberto. Atleti being forced back. Felipe Luis pokes it away, but he got Messi first.
Again, Suarez. That I just get stamped on there. My Gaetan. Sergio Roberto unhesitant playing that ball into Lionel. 2 men hanging on him.
Responding well. Needs to keep this one out. Ball headed away. Although in many ways, again, a Barcelona goal would need to be shrugged off by Atleti because they know they still need 2 regardless. 2-0 they advance. 2-1 we've got more soccer. 40th minute. Atleti has won here 16 times. Only Real Madrid's 19 more. Across Turan. Choppy steps to force free. Messi tries to split 2. Blocked away. Koke. Inside Alba. Suarez. outside of the boot, but too hard, and Moya over to grab the bouncing ball. They have won 16. It's 16 in a row without a victory, though, for Atleti. Nail-biting time for Iniesta, but at least he's dressed and on the bench. Same as Busquets and Digne, who are both back healthy enough to play. Okay. Looked square, drops it back for Felipe Luis instead. Left foots it to Moya. One times it out, but over Gaetan. Touched away for the Atleti throw. Barcelona to the Basque Country to face Alaves on the weekend. And mentioned tomorrow on beIN Sports, Alaves welcoming Celta Vigo. That was scoreless in the first leg. Atleti at home against Celta Vigo. Titi. PK. Griezmann trying to cut the angles.
There's much more signs of Barcelona getting their game back together. The more recognisable Barca, the connective passing, the movement, and the responsibility of players in tight situations to get out of them and break the lanes and advance his football. It's taken them a long time to get it in gear, and a lot of that has to do with his opponents, who started out gangbusters and on fire.
Inside for Messi, quickly for Suarez, but even quicker Godin against his fellow Uruguayan. Sergio Roberto over for Suarez. Like you said, it is kind of that Barcelona rhythm. Instead of Barca at 45, it's only a 33 for those of you people that remember vinyl. Little more deliberate.
Good ball.
Up for Suarez, off for Messi, drives back into traffic, rolls it, slapped away Moya, but straight to Suarez, and Barca against the grain in front.
A tremendous goal, and it's Andre Gomes who deserves the full credit for this as well. Finally, he breaks the line. It's wonderful play by the Portuguese man this time. And an indicator of what he does well. He just doesn't do it too often in his early days at Barcelona. But this is why they got him. When we take a look at this again, that ball in there by Gomes, wonderful into Suarez, who finds the magic man, who turns on his wonderful, beautiful, botanical football. They cannot get a sniff of it here. Messi, shake, and wonderful bake, and he sizzles this one, and it's easy for Suarez. Moya throws down the welcome mat, and he wipes his feet on it and steps through the door. Tremendous ball. We still haven't seen enough of the ball from Gomes, Phil, because that allowed Messi that space and that time to do what he does good, and that's exactly what he's saying to the Portuguese man. It's a great ball that's quick, sharp, insightful, penetrative, and then Messi turns on his dancing shoes, and then the thunder at the end of Messi's lightning is Suarez. Seems that every game we do, Phil, with Andre Gomes, it's becoming more evident. He is a player that can frustrate and not live up to billing a lot of times. But you can see what Barcelona's seen in him with that sort of wonderful, quick decision, incisive turn and split millimeter ball into Suarez. And then all the pieces fall into place, but it's nothing without that first pass. Busquets has made an absolute art of it. And Andre Gomes taking a card out of his hand there. We'll take a look at it at half-time, and you'll see what I mean. That one was absolutely Barcelona at their best. And Atletico now got a big game to chase in this second half.
Again, mention the fact they knew they needed to score 2. That has not changed, but there is no more leeway for Atleti. They trail 3-1 on aggregate. And as we take a look at the goal through our Intel 360, Luis Suarez taking a look actually at earlier chances. Here Godin denied as he sends it right down the middle, but it's Barcelona with more than a foot in front.
Now here's the goal, and again the feet continue to dance. Suarez, is he level with Godin? Looks like it. It's very close, but the passing insightfulness of Gomes that Messi appreciates immediately is what led to that goal.
Stick around. The Express halftime.
Stretch and push the ball into the compass of Suarez, and he ain't ever going to miss those ones.
Second half about ready to get underway. It was an offensive formation put out by necessity by Diego Simeone, but they could not find pay dirt. Lionel Messi only needed that little gap, and it always helps to have Suarez at the point of the other spear. 43rd minute, his 4th goal in the cup, his 21st goal in all competitions, equal with Messi atop the Barcelona scoring charts, and Luis Suarez giving the defending champions a 3-1 aggregate lead. But again, for Atleti, they came in needing 2 goals. They still need 2 goals. But Ray, after a stretch of controlling nearly an hour of play in this 2-legged tie, they've been outscored 3-1.
Yep.
Controlled the last half hour of the first leg, dominant the first half hour of this one, but they just cannot find a way into the Barcelona net. Strong from Savic. Ray, in some ways you could say that this is a mimic, a mirror image of what we've seen in La Liga from Atleti, who are in danger of missing out on a Champions League berth. Ball to Suarez again, back heels. Messi tries to pirouette. Second effort on the overlap. Roberto across, Turan just too short. Alba off the give and go. Godin, actually Juanfran dropping back, but it will be a throw-in.
Talking about Atletico being similar to their La Liga form, Phil, I would say that this Barcelona side has been in that sort of midstream in terms of pure form of their highest standards, and it's had a lot of people belly aching, complaining, and yet onward and upward they go with the results. And certainly under this manager who's had his critics, his team seemingly always advance in these cup competitions. Look out.
Godin in trouble. Groin pull apparently. Suarez goes right at him. Tries to find Messi, but it's out, and this would be huge. Godin is going to have to come out.
Right.
Already missing Jimenez, the other normal starter, and it looks like they're going to have to go to young Lucas Hernandez, who, shall we say, has been a bit distracted this week.
What do you mean?
Gaetan, the first player coming out, and again Godin signaling for a substitution, but none coming yet. Correa checking in from the corner. Cleared away, Fernando. Carrasco giving chase, but no. Getting back to the style of Atleti. More flamboyant, more attack-oriented. And at the same point, more vulnerable. Double the amount of goals conceded this year as they have at this point last year. And they have struggled against the big clubs, and here yet again.
Oh, the big linchpin, the world-class Godin. Exits sadly, and that is an almighty blow for Atletico Madrid. Obviously, as Lucas enters the fray.
Well, just a day ago, he was in court, a domestic abuse charge. And in fact, prosecutors say that he deserves jail time for it. Maybe posturing, maybe not. But Barcelona fans letting their thoughts be known.
Yeah, it's been in big block letters all around the Spanish press, of course, and all across Europe for Lucas's domestic violence. It has been really highlighted on all of the TV stations and been under great scrutiny.
Ball in, Suarez pokes it free. Sillison. 3 saves in the first half, Ray.
Yeah.
And if there are man of the match honors to be handed out to this point, he'd be up there. Titi.
I don't disagree with you. It's been a really confident, commanding performance. He seems very sharp on the ball as well with his feet. There's very few gasps around this stadium when the ball goes into Sillison.
Alba out wide. Arda looks to the inside. Here's Gomes, who's maybe had one of his best performances. Has a whack from long distance. Apologies as it sails high. Well, comebacks have been difficult, and they'll be even more difficult without their big man. So dangerous on both ends of the field.
Good header.
Lucas Hernandez. Driving forward, Griezmann threads it through. Too close to Sillison, though. No chance for Fernando Torres. By the way, Lucas's brother Teo has been outstanding for Alaves. On loan from Atleti, playing out on that left flank, and he'll be in action tomorrow against Celta Vigo. The Basque side will need a good performance out of him, but scoreless after the first leg. Ball skips through, off balance from Savic, straight to Suarez, to the middle for Messi. Pulls the seal impression, but can't quite bring it under control. Lunging try by Koke.
There's a beautiful counter-attack that started from Sillison, who played a beautiful ball out to Umtiti, and then onwards into Arda Turan, onto Suarez, and then finally to Lionel, who did his best seal impersonation, as you said, Phil, but nothing at the end of it, unfortunately, for Barcelona. A wonderful attack down the full length of the field.
Arda. Upfield is Alba dispossessed. Back comes Torres. Ball off the back of Gaetan. Carrasco.
Hey, well played, Gerard.
Going up to his center forward roots.
Yep.
Driving inside Lucas. Messi leaves him flailing. Now out for Rakitic. Back towards Suarez. Intercepted Koke.
Unlucky Rakitic not to get that ball ushered through into the stride of both Messi and Suarez.
Now it's Carrasco with a burst of speed. The Belgian. Gomes staying with him all the way. Torres on this near side. If they can get the cross through, mismatched with Alba. Sneaking it in low. Piqué in good position. Second try. Scooped forward, but too hard. Koke. Koke and Saul, the two center mids here today. No Gavi. No Thiago. No Augusto. One back. Faking the shot. Driving it, but it squirts wide. This time it's Carrasco off target. They've had their chances.
Again, pick their way through. He's got options to find Griezmann right in front of him with a little shovel pass there. Here's the seal impersonation as he drives on. The ball won't come down quick enough for him, and kind of touch it back into the stride for Suarez, who was waiting.
And the question, do you pull Messi at any time with that yellow card looming that could keep him out of the final? Gomes a little slow on the trigger and almost has it stolen.
I think the second one, well, the insurance goal comes for Barcelona, then I think you would imagine that Luis Enrique would pull his key man.
And Titi and Alba, the other Barcelona players, in danger of missing the final. If Atleti bounces back, Savic will not be eligible. He already had that yellow from before. Suarez inside, almost met by Luis Suarez. Actually, take that back. The yellow earlier going to Carrasco.
It's wonderful play by Denis Suarez there. He's just a half a foot away from finding the streaking Suarez namesake in full stride. It was wonderful play by Denis. Take a look at this. Shuffles his pass, gets a return from the Turkish delight, and then this one is so close to meeting the train at the station, and he wanted to punch that ticket home.
One joker left in the deck for Diego Simeone. Still has Kevin Gamero available on the bench. He put a very attack-oriented lineup out.
And it paid dividends right at the start of this game, as we noted time and time again, rightfully so. It was one-way traffic, nothing less. But in the second half, Phil, it's been, again, Luis Enrique that looks as if he's had the better effect.
Vidal loosening up. In the last match, he played in midfield as well. Or it could be a straight swap for Sergio Roberto.
Piqué has been next to perfect here in this game as well tonight. Been wonderful at the back.
We talked about how opponents this year putting the back line under pressure. The one they back away with, the one they show respect, is Piqué.
Touch.
Here stripped away on the return to Alba. Correa making the run, pops up on Griezmann. He won't get it back. Lucas, and whistles from the Barcelona faithful to the troubled 20-year-old defender. Griezmann coming back to the defensive half, trying to get a touch. And here he will. Out wide. Pops up, Felipe Luis tries to get around Sergio Roberto, who reaches out and spikes him. Yellow card coming out against the right back. Now remember, I'm not sure Felipe Luis is going to be taking pictures of this one, but... And a yellow maybe for mouthing off. Sergio Roberto got the yellow for the foul. And then a magic word, and all of a sudden, Barca's down a man.
Well, he reaches in, and the cleats are fully showing. He's stabbing through. He gets the ball, but the referee's saying it's dangerous play.
Straight red. They flashed the yellow and then another. So one way or the other, Barcelona is down a man. And Vidal back to the bench for instructions. One way or the other, he did something wrong, and he knows it.
Well, again, the action nowadays, Phil, is going to be easily recognized, and he's not that type of player at all. He's usually a lot smarter as well, and coming to try to get the ball and stab it away with his toe. And then it's always going to be probably looked away from, as long as the cleats are pointed down towards the turf, but not that time.
So with the man advantage, driven in towards the 6. Umtiti getting there first. Trying to hold on, but no, stripped away from Carrasco.
By Messi.
Suarez trying to do a Messi impersonation. Up steps Felipe Luis. Carrasco to Koke. Griezmann. Back to Kazmierski.
Oh,
laid off nicely. Griezmann! Magic. Bullseye!
Oh!
But offside, and Atleti still has a mountain to climb.
Well, let's take a look. Beautiful ball played in, and that is absolutely onside. He's level. He's even behind Piqué by a foot or so. And that one is badly refereed by the linesman. The flag comes up and the Frenchman's smiling. I'd be over there eyeballing that linesman if I was him. That was a beautiful goal. Masterfully engineered. Tremendously found from Carrasco was Griezmann.
Angel Navarro, the assistant on the near side. Some questions to answer.
Big time, Phil. That was certainly onside.
Because again, think about it. Up a man, if they would equalize, needing only one goal to get it to added time. And it's Mascherano to the rescue as Vidal takes a seat. Gomes playing it across. Rakitic is over, covering at that right back spot.
You see these replays in slow motion and everything, but even in live time, Phil, it looked as if he was certainly level with the player. It looked like a wonderful goal in live time, but the replays show he's clearly onside.
Griezmann swings it across. Juan Fran. Correa sliding in Turan, and it'll be out for a corner. Well, Barca fans complaining this year that a lot of the refereeing calls have gone against them. A huge one in their favor here. Third corner of the match for the visitors. Still needing 2 goals with a half hour to go. Curls away, Silesen back. No Godin to aim at. Savic with a touch. And it does cross the chalk. And that yellow to Sergio Roberto coming.
Yeah, take a look at this. Look at the distances between Griezmann and Piqué's big long legs. And that is an absolute world-class diamond finish that is denied and flushed down the wazoo thanks to the referee's assistant with the flag, whose name is
Angel Navarro.
No angel for Atletico, that's for sure.
Dennis Suarez out.
Gone now.
Roberto with that 19th minute yellow card.
Showed up nicely at times. Some lovely football cutting in. Great skill. Young developing player whose responsibility will only grow. Big part of this squad. Now, this crowd recognizing it as well. Dennis Suarez. Real good performance overall.
Mascherano in, Suarez out. So up a goal, but down a man. Can they hold on for a half hour and punch another ticket to the Copa del Rey final?
Would have been the spark that maybe leads to the revolution, Phil, and give us the possibility of another wonderful half hour of football at the end of this 90. They need that spark. They got it, and it was snuffed out.
As you see what's happened, they had Vidal available and have elected to leave him on the bench, so he was probably going to come in the midfield. Mascherano playing it right back, an experiment that, let's just say, did not pass with flying colors earlier this year. Well, Luis Enrique showing his trust.
Absolutely. With a man like Griezmann, the Argentine might be just the cork in the bottle that Barcelona need. That was lethal from Antoine Griezmann. An indicator why Manchester United are threatening to break the world record to take him away from Diego Simeone.
Pops in, trying to knock it down. Correa. Saul one touch just behind. Gamero looks like he's out there. They have emptied the bench. All hands on deck for Atleti. Correa. Okay. Little behind. Savage forced to retreat. Well, you call him the man in black, a la Johnny Cash. A little more like the gambler at the moment, Diego Simeone.
Well, his gambles were starting to take effect as well. Not going to go away from it. We just saw an absolutely stellar, wonderful, elaborate, artistic goal finished off by Atletico Madrid, and it was denied very wrongly.
Correa tried to flip it in for Gamero, gets it back. Umtiti clears. Back for Juanfran. Piqué too tall.
Nicely.
Box, Carrasco settles, shoots, and it bounces harmlessly wide.
Making this man up tell here now. Still a lot of time to be played. This is a wonderful tackle by Samuel. Here's another look. This ball is stabbed on. Look at that. How can he miss that one, Phil? He's got the lane as his guide. The linesman.
And it's not even as though Piqué was pushing out. He was frozen.
Right, but the lane, he was stepping across the lane. That's the thing. The lane is such a pure guide in that instance that the referee's assistant has a clear look. If he's level with the player, which he looked as if he was.
Barcelona fans again in voice. No more. Cillessen does not get a caution, just a talking to.
Well handled as well by Jasper.
Although a yellow card now to Rakitic. Ray, 17 shots in the first match. They've had 7 so far today, and only 1 goal to show for it. Trickles down. Saul.
Ooh, look out.
Correa
nice run.
Takes the shot. Overlap Juanfran. Back, but again, it's Gomes in the way.
Got Kevin Gamero pleading for it. Running in from that back post as well. The pullback was snubbed out by the Portuguese man.
Wide Juanfran. Ball sails. Cillessen stops. Mascherano surrenders the corner kick.
Estu starting to fade away back into play, and Mache recognized it.
Busquets back healthy and ready to come in. Maybe for Gomes, maybe for Rakitic. No Godin, no Torres to aim at. Play the short corner. Messi pokes it free. Atleti forced to retreat. And Sergio Roberto with a yellow in the first half, another in the second. And Barca playing down a man, but up a goal. Up 2 on aggregate. Correa. Juanfran onside this time, and Umtiti off target, but away from goal. Corner kick, Luis Enrique. Busquets needs to wait.
Searching for this equalizer again here from set pieces. They should be level.
Driving it into the 6, just a touch from Suarez. Again, set plays have been a problem for Atleti this year, where in the past they'd been a boon. Another cross in front. Griezmann almost gets there, but Piqué first.
Top class, world class. Gerard Piqué, and says to his crowd, we need you. We're hanging on here. Griezmann in his Los Indios are coming. trying to scalp us. And a wonderful intervention by Piqué. Here they come again.
5 in the box, sails over Piqué. Umtiti in position. Turan decked. Pleading is Carrasco, but the card has already come out.
Brave play by Arda.
And
coming across, knowing he's going to get.
He knows that's his second.
Yeah.
We're level. 10
he's
on
hungry
10
to try to get this one back. He thinks he's got a real good chance as the ball's bouncing in between the two players, but it's a real gamble, and it's the wrong one. Arda gets there well before him, and the man who created that great opportunity for Griezmann to bury that was denied gets sent off, and Piqué rousing this wonderful crowd behind the goal, telling them to keep blowing that ball away because every little bit counts now at 10 against 10.
Looked like he was trying to put the brakes on, a little too over-eager. No handshake from the manager, and straight down the tunnel. Turan will be the player coming out. Busquets coming in.
Another wonderful set of applause around as a big roar comes back for big Sergio. They've been missing him all right, like a big linchpin.
GT back to Silas.
Not the easiest of games to come in. Ah, magic. Ole is right. Charging bull is Griezmann, and the big red cape comes out from Jasper. No bullfighting in Holland, is there?
More room for Messi with the 2 men out. Andre Gomes pushing forward, Suarez out. Maybe a little pantomime. I have to ask Thomas Rongen about that. Saúl lays it back, and the ball banged away. Iniesta getting a run in, stretching the legs.
Look at this, watch. Aye! Ibracadabra. Another Ajax player. They must teach them like that as they're pinning the diapers on in the Netherlands. Wonderful goalkeeping there. Nothing to risk when you've got that sort of ability and confidence. Magic.
Time running out. Felipe Luis across.
Good ball.
Sails over Alba. Correa hustling back, but Gomes got there first to build a wall.
Pulled back by Correa. Now, come on, you cannot be arguing with this one. Pulls on the arm of the Portuguese man.
Coming out, Rakitic. And it's Iniesta returning.
Yeah, they're all come out this midfield that he sent out, the boss, to protect that back line. And in hindsight now, Phil, again, he was right. Simeone's men came out looking demonic and were attacking and no way through for a big part of this game. And Rakitic gets full deserved respect and applause.
And the captain gets his due.
Andre Gomes still in this team and still holding on to that position, and another good sign of confidence being shown by Lucio Enrique.
Busquets from an angle. Andre Gomes, another 90 minutes. Ball from Mascherano up towards the Portuguese mid, but it carries. And again, you take a look at Atletico Madrid, 4th place in league, and Real Sociedad just a point back, and now out of the Copa del Rey, bar a miracle. Kind of wonder, what does that mean for the Simeone era? Correa, a 2-hopper, but no problem for Silasson. Keeping the pressure on. Content, and back to his keeper. Savic chests Griezmann, one touch. Again, Correa in that center channel. And Titi got there first. Alaves and Celta de Vigo tomorrow. A scoreless draw in their first leg. The two Cinderellas look like the winner will be taking on the defending champs in the final. By the way, Luis Enrique, with his 3 substitutions, leaving the 3 players on the field who came into this match with cautions. Maybe questioned if that comes back to bite him. Tillerson again. Titi. Suarez couldn't handle it. Okay. Foul against Iniesta. Headed into the middle, Umtiti, with the chant still ringing around the stadium. Suarez went the other way, stolen by Correa, but the big Frenchman blocks the shot, and now a pullback on a foul to try and get it back.
Umtiti standing his ground nicely, not diving in, not taking the bait. Good solid defending. That's what I think Umtiti has been here tonight. There's been 1 or 2 little wobbles, but always Piqué there to cover him as the insurance policy. And again,
Tillerson had been warned.
Aye.
And now gets the caution for delay.
That's fair enough. And Tillerson accepted the first warning and was put on alert, as you said, Phil. A little bit too long, in the referee's opinion. But both Tillerson and Piqué, for me, have been the standout performers in this Barcelona contest here tonight. See how the rest of this game plays out. There's the 2 men again, side by side. Really had a good effect. And this defense has been really threatened here tonight, especially that first half.
Mascherano under pressure, threads the needle forward. Roams to the inside for Suarez, upended by Savic.
Always available for the outlet pass and always knows he's going to get smacked. Savic by name.
Savage by nature.
Hit your own script writer, Phil Shane.
Just
a wonderful responsibility, though. I mean, the hammers that he gets dealt with game in, game out, and it should be no surprise for the boss, who likes cup competitions, Phil. Only 1 knockout competition that he's ever failed in since he's taken over Barcelona. Loves his cups.
Now Messi has a go, and it's set off the crossbar. Suarez on the rebound, but high.
Nobody expecting this one from this distance and this angle. And we should hang our heads in shame, because impossible is nothing for this man from Argentina, who is nearly cleaner than Neutrogena with this one. A diamond launched, a catapult, a sledgehammer crossed with a rapier, and we are a lick of paint from one of his greatest ever goals. Look at the dynamic on this. The ball virtually stays stationary through. Such is the magic of the technique. Astonishing, jaw-dropping genius from Messi. Amazing.
A fan trying to get a little closer than he should at the brief pause. 12 minutes remain Atletico fortunate that they still have a chance. They need to get past Jasper Cillessen.
And the linesman.
And you think about it, even at 1-1, maybe Carrasco not that reckless on the approach that led to the red card.
Good ball.
Chance threaded in. Gamero in the box. Piqué with the touch. And he's going to be whistled for the penalty.
Well, I don't think this is a penalty in lifetime. And the camera may prove me absolutely wrong. It's a gamble by Piqué, who knows Kevin's around him. A beautiful ball. Take a look. He pulls out, it seems. Take a look. This will be the perfect angle. Man. Gamero comes in behind. He's got control of the ball. It's a real gamble. And maybe... Oh, I'm not so sure that that's a pen, Phil. I've got to say. Take a look at this one. He touches the ball, the momentum comes through, and then Piqué plays the ball ahead of his momentum, carrying it onto Kevin. It's one of those bang-bangs, but here you go.
Gamero, and it skims the top of the crossbar. Another opportunity missed.
Sometimes it's just not your night. I could have been a contender, Diego Simeone says, but not tonight. Everything going against Atletico Madrid, but they get a chance by virtue of a questionable call. But either way, Cillessen pushes it high and wide with his eyes, as you are prone to saying. Love that. But it is confidence of Cillessen that comes to bear and causes Kevin Gamero to flash that one well over. Great run by Gamero into the box to draw the challenge of Piqué. And after 4 replays, still very tough to decide whether the momentum carried through. And it seemed that Kevin Gamero had that touch of the ball when he got contact by Piqué. First stands for nothing now.
First penalty whistled against Barcelona this season, and they live to tell about it. Iniesta putting on a dribbling display and then pushed down from behind. 1 goal taken away by that offside flag that shouldn't have been. Another gifted by a penalty that maybe shouldn't have been, but then was not claimed.
Yeah. Been a good game of footy. Thrills, spills.
9 minutes left and 2 goals.
Controversies
still
wonderful
needed.
Ball playing goalkeepers. And the return of Iniesta and Busquets. And a flash of inspiration from the Portuguese man Andre Gomes to set up that first goal.
And by the way, again, the question, it was Gamero who drew the foul, questionable as it might have been, and Gamero that took the penalty.
Yeah.
Chance now. Correa deflected away. There are some managers that do not like the player that was involved on the play. In fact, they'd rather have someone, a defender perhaps, as the set penalty taker. Maybe Simeone having second thoughts, but too late for that. Now falls Griezmann into the middle, and Gamero delayed, not denied. Flag stays down this time. Atleti has its goal, and we just might have a game here.
Might have another half hour of football if they get another. And now he rouses his men. El Presidente is, one's looking happy, the other one's looking like he's sitting on a bag of nails. Beautiful ball across the face of goal. Is he onside? Looks like it there. He's behind Umtiti. Wonderful consideration from Griezmann again. Not top class, world class to set the table. Wonderful finish by Kevin Gamero, of course, arriving late and supporting that square run in case Griezmann flashes it. as he did on the goal that was denied, but he is found with a beautiful pass.
And caution off to the races. Mascherano upended as the whistle had already blown.
Ooh, another 10 minutes here of helter-skelter football, and you know that this red and white team is really going to start pushing up now.
In all competitions, Barcelona surrendering a penalty in the Super Cup. And Claudio Bravo made the stop. They surrendered a penalty in the European Champions League. Ter Stegen with the save. And now their first in domestic. Ball back to Moya, who has to sprint out, yet to allow a penalty goal. Luis Enrique more than a bit concerned on the bench. Savic, who with that yellow he received moments ago, would miss the final. Atleti still has a chance. Messi. Suarez into space, and there should be plenty of it. 10 on 10. (3-2) on aggregate.
A good ball by Umtiti.
Suarez quickly to Messi. Through goes Gomes. Playing as the third forward. Messi in. Suarez lifts it over Moya, but this one will come back.
Quicksilver from Messi. Sees Gomes to the right, Suarez to the left, and it's a great decision this time to deny a wonderful goal created by Lionel and finished off beautifully, but certainly offside, no question about that one. And Atleti live in hope, and here they come again.
9th goal of the season for Gamero. Puts us on the edge of our seats.
Switches on.
Griezmann pulling the strings now.
Yep.
Sergio Roberto ejected.
Not going to go there where Mascherano's covering that wide position.
Brasco.
Smart thinking from Atleti.
Got the second yellow for Atleti.
Good ball.
In for Juanfran, into the box. Tries to go through the legs of Alba. Second effort across the face, and Piqué clears. Okay. Correa into the box. Gets past Alba, and there's Iniesta to sweep it clear. And Alba seems to be hurt. 4.5 minutes. 7th corner, Atleti.
This in the hammers of hell now. Silesen.
Oh, to the 6, cleared.
Oh!
Met by Felipe Luis, but he couldn't get on top of it. Down, says Simeone.
Easier said than done, but he's going to give it the old college try. It's not exactly a Cuadrado quality type of hit, but it's in the same type of position as the Juve man who struck a wonder goal for the black and whites at the weekend, but a Brazilian there not able to replicate the Colombians' magic.
Juanfran pressured, clipped. Foul against Suarez, and he's going to go in the book.
It's a bad call by the referee, Phil. It's a foul for sure, but not a yellow. Actually pulls out. That wasn't just theatrics.
Lifted in, edge of the 18. Umtiti
Nice.
leaps into the air to clear. 3 minutes remain in regulation. With the ejections and substitutions and goals, maybe 4 minutes or more to be added.
Got a cliffhanger.
Simeone, I'm sure, has his fingernails sharpened.
Yep.
Clipped. Felipe Luis as he ran through. More bodies flooding forward into the box. Maybe even Moya before too long. Silesen nervously at the edge of his 6. Koke. Lifts it in towards the spot. Piqué heads it away, spinning towards the corner flag. And Mascherano couldn't get there in time. It will be a corner. Number 8. But again, no Godin, no Torres. Another in-swinger. Piqué trying to muscle through Saul. Sails across. A touch by Cillessen, just enough. And it's out to the near side.
It's a good cut touch. He comes and claims this one. It's the highest point. It's well out of his grabbing area, but again, gets it up and away, out of danger for now.
Moya staying home. 89th minute, halfway done. Short corner. Correa back to Koke.
Nicely.
Across the 6, and no one able to strike.
You'll not get closer than that, surely. Brilliant play from Koke. You've got to be flooding in once you see Koke come into this, but they're all static, Phil. The line of the red and white shirts takes root. Just attack that back post, he's saying. Wonderful from Koke, and the emotion proves too much for the man in black. Whoa, what a chance.
Mascherano doing some good work keeping Lucas Hernandez from making the run. The touch coming off of Juan Fran. It'll be a throw in for Barca.
Look at that face. He knows there's nothing more he could have done, Koke. He does everything right. The pace of the invite, the placement of the invitational pass. But his forwards took root like big ficus trees.
Now Suarez, he's going to get a second. No, it's a straight red. Reaching for the pocket, apparently leaning with the elbow on Koke. And if Barcelona does hold on to go to the final, they'll be without the big man up front.
All the politicking and all the arguing isn't going to change it. Whether it's rash, hot-headed play, we'll take a look. He leads away with his elbow into Koke, tries to pull it back, but the arm's extended. In this situation, with a yellow card already, he's got to keep his elbows down. He knows himself he's got a bit of a name. It may be a soft type of call, but still, there's just too much of an invitation for the referee to make more out of it than there is. Keep your arms down, and there's no problem.
And again, this will add time for Atletico to come back. Suarez being told, don't make it any worse. He'll be a spectator for the final regardless. Can Barcelona hold on to their ticket? 5 minutes added. And still at least 4 of them remain.
Thrilling finale as these keep piling forward, and no threat upstairs now.
And Ray,
9 players for Barcelona. Can they defend the fort?
And if there is a second goal for Atleti, that means an extra half hour, down 2 men. Correa.
Nicely.
Quick footwork. Across! And it's Griezmann actually parrying it away.
And right behind him is Angel Correa, waiting. If Griezmann dummies over the top of this, take a look. Wonderful drive into the box. And it's, excuse me, right behind him, it's Kevin Gamero, who's waiting for the little tuck away into an open net. Griezmann feels as if he can touch it on or control it. But now, Barcelona hanging on like Wile E. Coyote on the end of the cliff, in Atletico Madrid are stamping on their fingers.
30 shots for Atleti in the 2 games. A goal in the first, a goal in the second. They need 1 more to stay alive. Down the left flank they go. Felipe Luis. 1 in the box. Ball cleared by Piqué to Mascherano, who blasts to midfield. Messi the only man up. Lucas still serenaded. Near side Juan Fran. Griezmann's open. 2.5 minutes remain. Get up, screams Simeone. Griezmann. Saul. Hard from Gamero, but keeps it alive. Out wide. Felipe Luis again, and he's got some time.
And space.
Sneaks it across.
Oh.
Titi parries it away. Saul wins it back.
Desperate defending in numbers now. Barcelona falling back with everybody in the box.
Koke to Juan Fran. Back to Koke. Koke, resurrection. Can he? Deflected away for the corner. Number 10. Does Moya push up? Yes, he does. So at the moment, 9 around the box for Atleti. Koke over Moya, cleared by Piqué. One man back, it's Juan Fran. Gamero, quick inside.
Nicely.
Felipe Luis, and a lunge from Umtiti. Cleared off the back of the head by Piqué. Moya caught up. Messi at midfield, trying to get the shot away. Taken down from behind by Felipe Luis, and a yellow card against the left back.
Referee handing out yellow cards like a speed cop at the Indy 500. Just does the right thing. He's got to clip Messi, and he's hurt here. This one is bad. At this point of the game, he knows Messi's going to wind up for the shot at goal eventually. But right here comes across, and the ankle twists.
Ray, it was just over a year ago, maybe a week and a year ago, Felipe Luis with that stomp to the chest of Messi that shocked the world. This one not as violent, but you could see the reaction on the Barca bench.
The worst part of it is that Messi's legs are in full stride, and then his weight comes through to try to break his fall after he's been clipped, and you saw the ankle really turn badly, and he looks like he's fine. Amazing. And tendons in his ankle must be like elastic bands, because that one looked as if it was nasty.
Well, they finally find a ball to get this one back in play. This will add a few seconds, but we're already in the 96th minute. A yellow card now as the ball cleared away. Is it against Iniesta or Busquets or Gonge? As you said, Busquets just booting it away. That's why a yellow coming out. He's saying the time had already ticked away, and it has. Atleti's comeback falls short, but not without controversy. Barca won, Atleti won, and the defending champions back to the final.
Stupendously magnificent game of Copa del Rey football here on beIN Sports. The game had the lot. More twists and turns than Space Mountain, and the heroics of Atletico Madrid come chasing the game at Camp Nou, and they were so close. From start to finish, Diego Simeone's men stood up like T-Rex, but they couldn't knock off the King Kong of Barcelona. Tremendous excitement, some very debatable calls. Atletico certainly had a good goal disallowed with a lot of time to play, but in the end, it would be Barcelona whose star shines brightest and takes them into the final.
1-1 on the day, 3-2 on aggregate, 3 red cards on the night, and Atleti with 1 goal annulled and another missed from the spot, thinking about what might have been. Barca holds on for the final.